Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Sissygram Tales. If you like my voice, then hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe for daily story updates. Now, let's start the story. The soft glow of the morning sun filtered through the curtains, gently lighting up Alexa's face as she began to stir from sleep. Gradually, her eyes opened, and she stretched her body, swinging her legs over the edge of the bed. As her feet made contact with the coolness of the hardwood floor, an unsettling sensation washed over her. Something felt distinctly different, something she couldn't quite place. Her body felt unfamiliar as she shuffled toward the bathroom. Turning on the light, she gazed at her reflection in the mirror. To her disbelief, the person looking back at her was a stranger. The features that had once been hers were gone, replaced by a soft, unfamiliar face, full lips, long lashes, and wide, startled eyes. She blinked rapidly, trying to process what she was seeing. This couldn't be real. It must have been some strange dream. To verify, she pinched her arm hard. The sharp pain that followed confirmed it wasn't a dream. A sense of panic washed over her as her hands explored her body, encountering curves and shapes she had never had before. This was not her body, and yet it was now hers. The reality began to sink in. She had somehow, impossibly, been transformed into a woman overnight. Her mind raced back to the previous day, recalling an encounter with a strange woman on the street, a biting remark she'd made, the flash of anger in the woman's eyes, and the cryptic words that followed. At the time, Alexa had dismissed them as the ramblings of a madwoman. But now, it felt all too real. Staggering back to her bedroom, she collapsed onto the bed in complete confusion. How could she go to work like this? How could she even go outside looking like this? Her mind was overwhelmed with thoughts of how, just the day before, she had been a man, leading a carefree life. Now, she found herself trapped in a body that felt utterly foreign. A sharp cramp in her abdomen pulled her back to reality, intensifying her panic. Stumbling to the bathroom, she grabbed some A-Divil from the medicine cabinet, swallowing 2 pills dry. As the pain subsided, she noticed a small red stain on her pajama pants. A wave of horror washed over her as she realized the truth. She was having her first period. It was something she had always managed to avoid as a man, but now it was happening to her, and there was no mistaking it. Her hands shook as she stared at the blood, her mind struggling to comprehend how she was supposed to handle this. The frustration and confusion welled up inside her, and tears began to form. She thought back to all the times she'd mocked women for their complaints about cramps, mood swings, and their periods. Now, experiencing it firsthand, she realized how wrong she had been. The pain, the mess, the discomfort, it was all much worse than she could have imagined. As much as she wanted to break down, Alexa knew she couldn't. She had to find a way to adapt to this new reality. With determination, she pulled herself together and, after a moment of hesitation, grabbed her phone. Typing "how to deal with your first period" into the search bar, she felt a mix of embarrassment and desperation. The search results flooded her screen, articles and blog posts offering advice. Skimming through them, she learned that pads were the most common solution for beginners. She added a variety pack to her online shopping cart, along with some middle and a heating pad. After clicking order, she tossed her phone aside, slumping back onto the couch. She stared up at the ceiling, her mind swirling with more questions than answers. Was this permanent? Would she wake up in her old body tomorrow? She had no idea. Another cramp seized her, and she curled into a ball, groaning in pain. Seeking some sort of distraction, she turned on the TV, but the mindless sitcom only irritated her further. She closed her eyes, silently wishing she could wake up from this nightmare. But deep down, she knew it wasn't a dream. This was her new reality, and she had no choice but to face it head-on. Despite the confusion, fear, and overwhelming emotions, Alexa made a vow to herself. She would not let this experience break her. She had to adapt. She dragged herself to the kitchen, seeking comfort in a cup of tea and a snack. As the kettle began to boil, her eyes caught her reflection in the microwave door. The face staring back at her was still unfamiliar, but now there was a glimmer of determination in her eyes. She wasn't going to let this defeat her. With renewed resolve, she poured herself some chamomile tea and sank back onto the couch. Her mind buzzed with ideas, and she opened a note-taking app, starting to type out a survival guide for the newly female. She decided that research, preparation, and humor would be her best tools to navigate this strange new world. She was ready to take on whatever challenges lay ahead, no matter how unusual or daunting they seemed. The first task she tackled was shaving her legs. As a man, she had never paid much attention to the idea of smooth skin, but now it was an essential part of embracing her new femininity. The first stroke of the razor was tentative, but soon she found herself in a rhythm. After finishing, she marveled at the smoothness of her legs, a small but significant victory. Next came makeup. Alexa had never been one to spend much time on cosmetics, often mocking the women around her, who spent hours perfecting their appearance. But now, standing before the makeup products, she felt a strange sense of excitement. Carefully, she applied foundation, concealer, blush, eyeshadow, and mascara. The transformation was subtle, but it was real. It wasn't perfect, but it was a step forward, a small win. As she moved on to the task of choosing an outfit, she realized how ignorant she had once been about the challenges women faced. As Alex, he had often mocked women for their dedication to beauty and their appearance, never considering the immense pressure they were under. Now, navigating the world in a female body, Alexa saw the constant societal expectations, the discomfort of restrictive clothing, and the way beauty could both empower and objectify women. She reflected on how she had used her charm and looks to manipulate situations as a man, but now as a woman, she experienced firsthand the discomfort and objectification that came with it. This experience made her appreciate the strength of the women in her life, her mother, sister, and all the women she had once dismissed. She began to understand the resilience it took to live in a world that often treated women as less than equal. It was humbling to realize how much she had taken for granted, and she knew she had once been part of the problem. But instead of sinking into despair, she found a renewed sense of purpose. She would learn from her past mistakes and strive to become a better person. With this clarity in mind, she dove into the collection of beauty products still awaiting her attention. Lotions, shampoos, conditioners, each one held a promise of helping her navigate her new reality. She followed the instructions carefully, using the products with a mix of curiosity and precision. When she finished her routine, she saw a noticeable difference. Her face, though not traditionally feminine, had taken on a soft, new quality. It was different, but it was hers. As Alexa stepped outside, the initial awkwardness faded, replaced by a sense of quiet acceptance. Walking down the street, she felt the warmth of the sun on her face, the swish of her dress, and for the first time, she felt at ease. She approached a group of women sitting outside a cafe, something she would have never dared to do as Alex. But now, with a deep breath, she introduced herself. The conversation flowed easily, and Alexa realized she was more comfortable in her new body than she had ever been in her old one. She had been a man, arrogant and dismissive, but now, as Alexa, she was learning to navigate a world that was both beautiful and challenging. The road ahead wouldn't be easy, but Alexa was determined to embrace this new chapter in her life. She had the courage, the strength, and the willingness to learn and grow, no matter what obstacles lay in her path. This is where the story ends. I spend hours creating these videos for you, so don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It motivates me to create more content for you. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to check out these 2 videos showing on the screen. Take care. Bye.